there! Welcome to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Bantha. We are your hosts, Denise
and Rexy, and we are recording with special support from Council Member Mark Collier.
And we're broadcasting from our galaxy to yours.
May the force be with you.
Always.
Hey, Herd.
What is up, Herd?
We are here. We are very excited about the reason that we are here.
So why are we here, Rexy?
We are here because we can finally talk about Skeleton Crew because it finally dropped and we finally got to see the first 2 episodes.
Yes, and so we are going to be talking about episodes 1 and 2. So
Yes.
This is your spoiler alert warning.
Yep.
We are going to be talking all things Skeleton Crew.
Yep.
Not holding back. We are diving in, giving facts, giving information. So spoiler.
Beep, beep, beep. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it first and then come back because this will be a lot more fun anyway. Oh my gosh.
Do you know what the titles were for this show? Episodes?
They were little quotes. I remember the second one was way out beyond the border or beyond the boundary, and that was something that Neil said.
Yeah, way out past the barrier.
Past the barrier, that's what it was.
But the first episode is "This Could Be a Real Adventure" by Wim.
This could be a real adventure. That's right.
Yes.
Oh, I was like, oh, he said the episode title. Whatever he said it. Like, you know, when people they say the name of the movie. When you're watching a movie.
I didn't know what the titles were when we went into watching it. I wasn't paying attention to that.
We had to watch it last night with a bunch of our staffers.
Yes.
That was super fun.
And then I went home and immediately watched it again.
Denise has this awesome flag. Do you want to fill them in on anybody who maybe hasn't caught how she got this really rad flag? It's a very cool story. Denise is famous.
I wish. So Star Wars is great. If you are listening to this podcast, then you probably also agree that Star Wars is great. So fun story. I don't know. I emailed Star Wars. I wasn't sure if this is what kicked it off because I saw a lot of other people get this also.
Okay.
But a week and a half before Skeleton Crew came out, I got a message from Star Wars. Like blue tick Star Wars on TikTok, and you guys, I lost my mind. You know that meme where they're like, what's happening? And they're running. That was literally me running around the entire house at like 10 o'clock at night. And
I don't blame you for being excited. It's so cool. It's so cool.
But yeah, it was like, hey, check this out. And it said fill out this form. And so I filled it out. And like, then I didn't hear anything for like a week.
I remember you were like, is this a scam?
No, I was like, was that all?
Did somebody like play a trick on me?
Was this a dream? Was I like lacking sleep that much that I dreamt up this entire interaction with Star Wars? But then I got tracking and a package showed up at my door and it was the coolest thing ever. I got my SME flag. SME.
SME is the coolest.
Love SME. Like absolutely adore SME.
So excited about his name.
Yeah, because it's a fun tribute to Disney's Peter Pan.
Mm-hmm.
And his first mate. This
it.
is the first mate. Like it's great. But yeah, so I got that. I got a cool Skeleton Crew bandana, a tin of credits with chocolate in it, which now I think about it as like fool's gold with chocolate. Like
yep, you said that yesterday. I hadn't put that together either until you said that, but like
I didn't either.
It looks like a tin of gold.
And then I got a button that said first mate, and then it has a message in a bottle, which I'm gonna fill up with all my Doorables.
Oh, that's cute.
And put it on. But I'm so excited, and now I just need to create a whole shelf dedicated to Skeleton Crew because I've already started my collecting, and I'm going to frame the package that it came in because it looks so cool.
Yeah.
And hang that up. After we film all these episodes, I'm probably going to hang up my flag behind Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
But you guys, Star Wars.
Nice.
Star Wars is like so legit. And so I
Awesome.
created this my TikTok about it, and Star Wars liked and saved it.
Yeah.
And then I
Cool.
created another TikTok talking about the flag, and they commented on my TikTok, and I was like, yeah.
What did they say?
They're like, we're so excited for you, and like it was so you
That's
guys.
so cool. I remember like last night when we were there watching it, you got a comment that was like, "We can't wait to see your flag content."
Yeah. I was just like, yeah, like so excited because like Star Wars, like I love Star Wars. Like Star Wars is like
We
one of
wouldn't
the
be here. I mean, none of us would be in this situation at all if Star Wars didn't exist.
yeah, and
And
so
you got like official merch.
I know I'm so
Dude,
excited.
This is so cool.
And what was really cool is a lot of my mutual friends on TikTok, they got it also. And so like I was
you
so
have this
happy.
whole little like community of like people to be excited
Yeah,
about.
and they're really positive like TikTok like creators and content makers. And I was so happy to see these positive, upbeat, like love Star Wars people get this also. It was just
It's
it
cool.
was so great. It was so great. So like, can we talk about
You've got like little cartoon stars like coming off of your face.
I love this. Like it's so much fun. And
This
I
is
yeah.
seriously though, our excitement was well worth it. The wait was
Yeah.
well worth it. The show is so much fun. Like it immediately takes me back to like being a little kid and watching the Goonies or Stand By Me or like
there's actually a term for it. Yes, I learned this
okay.
today. I got all kinds of information and okay, so what the term is called where is it? Now I'm not gonna be able to find it. It was not that one. Is it this one? Oh, it's Amblin vibes, AMBLIN vibes. It was a thing that started in like the 80s and 90s, which was that whole like adventure ragtag group of kids with riding their bikes and doing that. So yeah,
that's cool.
so the
Okay.
vibe was AMBLIN. It was created like it's a whole thing. I googled it.
No, what is Amblin? Is it a company or
No,
did all these?
No,
or
it was just the
is it the name of the I need more info. This is really cool.
Well,
but I
there's
need more
Amblin
info.
Entertainment, which was it
Did they
wasn't
do
a
E.T.?
yeah. Like I'm telling you,
that's
it's all
I've seen that word.
I
Okay.
say it's all these like vibed movies from like the 80s and early 90s, and
that are
that's
like these kids together coming of age, like banding together
And
to be the hero.
that was
kind of story.
specifically what they went for. And when I was watching the table or like the table talks of the show, they also name dropped that also. And I just kind of like it's just kind of like went over, and they just were talking about like he had this vibe, and I didn't realize like it was a thing, and it is a
That is so cool. And this is perfect. This is exactly that.
real
Except
thing.
it's a TV show instead of a movie.
Yeah, and so it just
so it even feels kind of like retro, even though it's in space. Like, yeah, the vibe feels like an 80s, 90s kid adventure movie.
yes.
Even though it was just made.
Okay, so we're going to dive into the episode, but I want to give a few background information. So the planet they're on is called At-Atin. Star Wars has officially described it as a planet defined as orderly, peaceful world attended to by droids and citizens.
Mythical, apparently.
Well, those are what the people think. People think it's this mythical fairy tale planet full of treasures.
Yeah.
And so we have that. We also have the ship. Its name is the Onyx Cinder.
Onyx Cinder.
Yeah.
Pretty.
It's a cool name. It's the starship that.
And such a cool ship too.
It sounds like a pirate
ship.
ship.
Out of the ground. It's like, okay, we're leaving. Bye.
Well, I think it crash landed hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, which we're going to get into that later.
While they were having a battle, apparently. There's a bunch of corpses on that ship.
Well, yeah. But I have theories about that we'll touch into. And then we have Port Bargo.
That was the spaceport that they went to.
Yeah,
right,
the pirate spaceport, which makes his canon debut. So it's actually
created for this.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. This location was actually first mentioned in the Smuggler's Guide in 2018, and is now tied to the Hayden Way, which is near the famous planets like Mandalore.
Well, that's cool.
So it was in
Okay.
a guidebook before, and so this is its first like, because sometimes those like guidebooks aren't always like canon and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So this is like officially,
It's almost, just more fan fiction.
Yeah.
than Just,
and so this is now officially
Okay.
canon
that's
and
so cool.
its first time like on screen. It made me think of Guardians of the Galaxy. Nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so there's some background information.
That's
So as
neat.
we talk about,
It's just so far out beyond the barrier. Is that what they call the barrier or boundary?
it's
Barrier, I think.
well, the barrier is what kept everybody inside the planet,
Mm-hmm.
but this I think might be like on like the outer rim
Yeah.
or maybe wild space. They-
Way out there.
Yeah, they don't get, well, no, maybe not way out there because it's near Mandalore.
Oh. Well.
So outer space, I believe.
We dying? Yes, we sure are. How did Mandalorians not find it? You think?
Oh, they probably did.
I think.
I think I it's just a matter of putting it into the story, and I think that this is like the first time they've had
Okay.
it there that it makes sense.
It's pretty cool that they added it. I think it's a really cool, cool planet, a really cool backstory.
Okay, so yeah, the port. All right, so you guys, this show starts off with a bang.
Yes, it does.
Like
Yeah.
pirates taking over another ship. What did that make you think of?
Firefly.
See, it made me think of A New Hope when
Oh,
Darth
yeah, at the
Vader-
very beginning, that first scene.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking,
Yeah.
pirates.
yeah,
No, at the very beginning, like, even down to, like, how some of them were moving and, like, the...
hiding behind
Yep,
things.
they're all hiding behind, and there was this big bad, like, you know what's about to come in, and it's scary, and there's all these other little guys running around that you know aren't gonna make it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
exactly that.
I feel like I'm really loud.
I do, too.
Okay.
I'll turn it down with that.
Okay.
Sorry.
But yeah, so it totally made me
Ooh.
think.
No, I think you're right. Because I can always raise volume.
Okay, that.
Yeah, we're about in the mid-range. there.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, I
Oh,
am
your
good.
eardrums up, so that's pretty cool.
But yeah, so I thought that was really cool.
Mhm.
I loved how like coordinated these pirates were. Obviously,
Oh my
like
gosh.
not
right.
their first rodeo,
No.
and I thought the helmet of the captain was pretty cool.
Remember what his helmet looks like. I'll
It-
pull up a picture
it
and I'll
was-
stick it right here.
Yeah, it was very like angular.
Yep.
I love that they brought the Wolfman.
Oh, he looks so cool.
But that's
He
not his
looks like
first
a werewolf.
appearance.
Huh?
He's been in Star Wars before too.
Really? I don't
Yeah.
remember him. There's werewolves in Star Wars.
I believe it was a
Wanna read it?
cantina scene. Yes, in A New Hope, possibly.
Huh.
Yeah, it was not his first. This show,
That's pretty freaking cool.
this show is such a fan fan service with all the Easter eggs calling out to everything.
It really is. Yep.
But yeah, I thought
But
it was.
it's fun. It's like, I don't know. It's just so fun.
I thought it was
Neil.
hilarious.
It's just a...
We're gonna get to the end, but I want to make one more comment.
Okay. And then,
Then we'll start
we'll
talking
get
about.
to the baby.
Then
Okay.
we'll start getting to the kids.
Okay.
I thought it was hilarious when they opened up the cargo bay and it was like one credit.
No. Oh, I was so mad. They were so shiny too. Did you notice that? They're just like shiny and gold.
How
and
did the
brand
one
looking.
get in there? Just one,
It
and
looked
it
like
was
somebody was taunting them.
like why?
I don't know, but that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah,
Like, somebody knew it was gonna happen, and they were like, "We'll leave one here to be like, huh."
and then
you.
it caused a whole mutiny.
Mm-hmm.
Which
That
was
was
great.
also exciting.
That was
It was
like
also very Guardian.
very like showstopper opening.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
You're just hooked from the beginning.
Yes, and then we go from
And the music was so good
Yep.
too. I'm loving the music all the way through.
the showstopper opening to Suburbia Star Wars. We've never seen Suburbia Star Wars
Nope.
ever.
It's like riding the bus to
we've seen like
I never
villages
considered that was a thing.
and towns, and like almost kind of has some like Coruscant vibes to
Mhm.
it, like with the transportation,
Right.
but like
But more like middle class
it.
instead of like, you know, all the money ever.
Although Matt made me laugh. We was watching it last night. And he's like, "How do we go from this
That's a sour.
nice suburbia to like dingy city for school?" He's like, "It looks so run down."
The
I
school
was
looks like a
curious.
prison.
School. Okay, so I figured that like, oh, can we talk about the bus driver?
Yes.
RX. Best reaction.
Oh my gosh. We were sitting right next to each other when we were watching the show. That was a sour piece of candy. I was in my mouth and I was watering like crazy. We were sitting next to each other and he shows up and we were just like, oh. So exciting.
He's gonna take him on a Star Tour.
He's taking me on lots of Star Tours.
I thought that was so great. And again, this show has so many fun call outs to other things. We have characters from the original trilogy coming back. Now we have Rex from Disneyland. I am so here for it. This school.
It's so fun. I want to watch like some, man, that is just making my mouth water so much. I want to watch some videos on like Easter eggs.
Oh,
and
I've
see
already
what
been
I've
watching.
missed.
Oh, you've missed a lot.
I haven't had any time at all. But after what I'm here, I'm gonna go get some dinner, and that's what I'm gonna do.
But yeah, but the school, talking about the school, also another thing, like haven't really seen schools on.
No, we haven't. Only really in like the Jedi.
We've seen the Jedi Academy
setting.
We saw Grogu go to this school in Navarro,
but
it was like very small because it was like a little
village
outpost town. We've seen kids in the Imperial Academy,
right,
with the rebels,
but not like just your run of the not just the school.
Like
and they were very focused. They were very focused on like this aptitude test or career assessment.
Yeah, who gives 10-year-olds a career assessment test to put them on the path? Are you kidding me?
For their whole entire lives.
It would have been doing like dumpster cleanup if it was that.
I know.
Didn't care about 5th grade. What? No, that was like 4th grade. Yeah, like kids at that age. Are you kidding?
I changed my mind so many times.
I didn't get it. It was just that whole thing was weird. Are there sour ones?
We're eating these things. We realized that we talked about them in the test, but not on this. We're eating these Haribo sweet and sour reindeer gummies. Courtesy of Kevin.
Thank you,
Kevin.
A sour. Oh, dang it! I forgot to bring something over. I'll show you tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, Kevin, I remember to give Denise her last thing. Finally.
Is it Jar Jar Binks? Okay. All right.
Okay, back to
we're like
school.
But the aptitude test.
Yeah, these are like little kids. These are not in like high school. These are not high school teenagers. These are little teenagers.
I think the boys are like 10, and I think the girls might be 11 or 12 because I think they're further in school than they are.
Just a little bit older. Yeah, not by a lot though. And they're like, I mean, there's so much stress on them about passing this test.
It's like this stupid star state testing. Like, my kid does not do well on tests, like at all.
I didn't either. They're hard for me.
And some people they don't, and some people like that whole thing just blew my mind. And then that like the lady who was talking about it, she seemed weird. It gave me this really weird vibe about the planet.
And the way they're all like locked beyond that barrier and like not allowed to go out. You know, like it's very culty. It's very like, have you ever seen The Village?
No, but I don't think it's so much culty. I think maybe there might be some dangers past the barrier and it's being protected because we've seen that a lot. Like if you look at Mandalore and Rebels, or is it Rebels or is it Clone Wars, where they're all living in those domes because the environment is so harsh. So they live in these.
It's not safe.
Yeah, they live in these glass domes. So I think it's something more like that. But they're really, I have a theory.
I think they're hiding something on the planet. I think there's something
I have a
secreted away on the planet.
Theory about this one. I have a theory.
Because it's not like, yes, they're trying to keep people from coming in, but they're also trying to keep people from going out. And they're like really mad when people go out. I think they're protecting a secret. I think there's something secret on this planet that, like, the government, whoever it may be, doesn't want to get out.
But yeah, so that whole thing was weird. But did you catch the power converter comment?
I don't know.
So
I don't think so.
that was when KB and Fern, they were racing and the power converted went out. And she was like, we can get a power converter later. It was a total call out to Luke having to go to the Tachi station for power
converters.
Like-
That's right.
I thought that was great. I didn't catch that
Didn't even catch
till
it.
later.
Didn't even link it.
But like that whole like her racing, yeah. It made me think of Anakin and pod racing.
Mm-hmm.
Like them two working together to try to like fix up this thing to race, and it totally gave me Anakin vibes at that point.
Absolutely can see that. And like her friend is so techy. She's like she's not a droid, but like she's got that kind of vibe, you know, with like her visor and all
inspired by. His name Lobo in from Cloud City. He has the gear on too that wraps around his head.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she was inspired by that.
That's cool. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Okay. Lobot.
No, not Lobo. Lobot. There we go. I knew it was something. Yeah. So I really liked the kids. Like, it was so funny because how they interacted was definitely how we interacted as kids with other. You had the girls working with the girls, and the boys. They're like, oh, stupid boys, ooh, silly girls. Like,
right.
Although
like, they have the boys just like digging for
the girls
them, doing all the work.
Worked over those boys,
yes,
and they totally won that whole thing.
But in the end, they all got trapped together in the same starship as it ripped out of the ground. So like, I knew we couldn't start the show with Wim falling to his doom from the starship.
No.
But that was so stressful.
Oh my god.
He's just like dangling, and then he slipped. And his dad's there watching. You're just like, they can't do this, right?
I don't know. We've seen crazier things in Star Wars. Remember Acolyte and Dara being killed off in the first 5 minutes? We've seen crazier.
Jordan, Jackie. Yep.
Yeah. They're being like...
Disney is known for being very brutal and unaliving people.
I would say with Jackie and they were like advertised as like big stars of the show. They were like 2 episodes, 3.
Enough to make everybody be like, "Ooh, we want more." Nope, sorry. Too bad. Better read the book.
But yeah, so that spaceship that they go in there, Wim just pushing all the buttons.
Oh god, okay.
I did it.
The scene when he did it though, because he's running off to do something and somebody yells at him. One of the girls is like, "Don't touch anything," and he's like, "I won't." And then he's looking and this button starts flashing and he goes, and he pulls his hand back and he's like, "It pushes the button."
Did you catch that the ship was actually upside down?
No.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. Matthew did. So when they powered it on.
No, you're right. The seats.
Yes.
The seats were hanging from the top.
And then the headphones dropped down. Yeah.
They crash landed upside down. Okay.
I did not catch that. Matt pointed that one out.
Okay.
I was like, oh, well, look at you paying attention, Matthew. But yeah, that whole scene was like while they were going off an adventure. I love when they went to the captain's quarter. Like, they had like actual pirate hats, and they had like.
It was so Goonies-esque. I remember at that point I looked over at you and I was like, this is so Goonies. Like,
but I thought it was
kids in a little cave with pirate treasure.
But I was like, there's really pirate hats in Star Wars? Like, do they actually dress like pirates?
He actually talks like a pirate and he walks Like, you've got a peg leg.
That ship had to have been there for a very long time because those skeletons, the skeleton crew,
Yeah, they were just bones and rags on their
and just
corpses.
tons of cobwebs
Yep.
everywhere. I just now put it together, skeleton crew.
Nice. Some of the stuff just goes together when you say it out loud.
As you're sitting there discussing it, you're like,
Yep.
oh, yep,
Oh.
that makes sense. That is what was going on there.
Man, they just straight up got trapped, and it's like, well, I don't know. You guys better learn to be friends because you're in space now.
Yeah, especially because it seemed like Wim and Fern were not getting along. Like, there is definitely a power struggle. I loved it when she was like,
they were not happy with each other.
Me was like, where's the captain? She's like, well, I killed him. Doesn't that mean I'm the captain? And then Wim's like, then it totally made me think of something Owen would say. I just thought it was great. I was just like,
and it's so true to like little kids. I remember being a little kid and like, yeah, I would fight with my siblings. Like, no, I wanted that.
Mm-hmm.
How come you get it? I want to be captain.
But it was also caught me off guard too because like when they were talking about it, they left the barrier. They're out in space. They didn't know those were stars.
Yeah.
Or planets.
And that blew me away. So like within the barrier, they never see it change. They never see this.
They must have like a hollow projecting the sky and stuff. Because it did get morning and dark and light and dark.
Just not put anything in the sky that like that's.
They had all those clouds.
I want to know what they're hiding in there. I know they're hiding something. There's a secret. I want to know what the secret. I want to know what your theory is.
I have some thoughts. Okay. We're going to get into it here in a little bit.
Okay.
Especially about the time period because there was something that stuck out like a sore thumb. Okay, so buttons, push so many buttons, Wim.
Yep. And then poof, we're in space.
Yeah, okay, so they're flying and they go to this port.
Me's like, oh, I can take you somewhere.
And they're like, no, we want to go home. And that was where we got our first inkling that people, I don't think I tasted this one, did not know, or so they're telling Smee that, or SM33, if you haven't caught on yet, Smee and he's like, are you sure it's not like Aldani? Or he starts naming off all these other planets. They're like,
no, Ad-Atten.
They're like, hello? Like, which that would caught me off guard. I was like,
right, that's like,
a little
he's a
odd.
droid. He wouldn't know.
And even when they told him to try to track where their last location was, he was having issues with that too.
Yep.
So
and they wonder if that's something to do with the barrier, that maybe blocks.
Or maybe
some of that.
Or maybe he got he was shut off before.
Maybe.
We don't know.
I mean, everybody else they encountered on this planet thinks it's a myth.
Well, yeah, at the port, nobody knows about it.
People are laughing at them, like calling them liars, and they're like, "I want to go home. Home is Ad-Atten." And they're like, "Ad-Atten's a myth. What do they call it? The city of endless treasure."
Yeah, because one, they stuck out like sore thumbs.
Mm-hmm.
But did you notice that that woman that helped them, she was, I think, a Thelan? She's like the same species as Jackie. Oh. And the dancer in Jabba's palace, because she had the little horn.
And the kind of feels the most.
Yeah, I think she's Thelan. I think that's how you say it. And did you see the other dancer that was like outside the door, looked like the lady with like the 4 boobs?
Yeah. She was hard to miss.
I was like, hey, it's like Jabba's palace. Mm-hmm. But like, you could tell as soon as she saw the kids, like she was
immediately, are you children? Yeah. So like, you've never seen children before?
Maybe not, because it is just a pirate port. How many people are bringing children to a pirate port? Like,
but wouldn't you think pirates would have encountered kids at some point during?
I don't think she was a pirate though. I think she may have.
Oh, maybe just worked on the port
somehow. Work got taken away and maybe put into this place to work. Okay. Like, we literally have no idea. Remember, there's slavery all around like the universe. Like, we don't know. Last time
I
she
thought-
could have seen a kid was when she was a kid.
That's true. I thought when she first grabbed them that she was gonna rob them.
I
I
thought
was
she
like, wait a minute.
especially because they were little girls.
Mm-hmm. She was
Um,
like, immediately, do you have any money? I'm like, oh no.
but
She's
yeah,
gonna
she
rob
was
you.
so baffled by when they said at Atten, and she was like, "What?"
That's a myth. What are you talking
And then the
about?
same thing happened with the boys when they went to go eat, and then they're like, "We're just trying to find our way home," and they're like, "Where?" And they're like, "At Atten," and they're like, "Oh,
What's
whatever."
laughing? They're like, that's a myth.
No, that was after they showed the credits.
Oh.
So, okay.
Okay.
Did you catch what time era those credits were from? They said
No, I didn't. I saw they
said-
were like super shiny and very gold. That was all I caught.
Old Republic.
Oh, yeah. Well, I did catch, like,
So-
the guy was like, where did you get a
Yeah.
mint condition Old Republic
So
credit?
Old
And he was like,
Republic,
My
that
dad
is
gave it to me for lunch.
so Old Republic is 1,000 to 4,000 years before the Battle of Yavin.
Okay.
So these people have been living on this planet. So that's where I was going.
Completely isolated for just generations.
Thousands, millennia. Because so that which makes you wonder, how old is this ship? How old is that pirate? Or how old is me? Like, so there's this like unlocks so much more. Also, this is like one of the few times like Old Republic has actually been recognized in like canon.
Oh,
Like the
really?
video game Knights of the Old Republic is not
Yeah.
canon.
Oh, okay.
That comment
I've never
makes
played
Old
it, so I
Republic.
didn't know that. Okay.
So that comment makes Old Republic like even more
Yeah.
solidified in the canon. But so it makes
They
you
are, like,
wonder.
yeah, mint condition. Like,
It makes you wonder, did people think that maybe at Atten was destroyed at some point in time because they've been so cut off from the world? Are
maybe.
these the descendants of the pirates? Like, did they settle there? Like, what's going on? Did they fight these pirates? Something happened. And they've been cut off from the world. They've obviously been cut off from the world because they've never seen anything past the barrier. They had
We've
that,
never seen stars.
and like,
But where they like Atten doesn't necessarily have to be close to the port, right?
no, because remember they traveled light
Yeah,
speed.
they hyperdrive or yeah,
So we have no idea where it is.
they went into hyperspace. I remember Neil walking around like, when they're in hyperspace.
So like, they've been living there thousands of years without contact.
Just completely cut off, and people have forgotten them to the point where they think they're mythical. They're like an old fairy tale anymore.
But it could be like in what you call it? And like there's been other times where planets have been forgotten or like lost in history in Star Wars, like with Planet X
Mhm.
and the High Republic, where the Force Eaters are from.
Yep.
Kamino, remember that was wiped from
Oh yeah,
memory bank. Like,
and that's all it takes. All you have to do is just wipe the memory of the people who know it exists
Or
who live there. or
also
whatever, and
we've seen
more.
like the governments of the galaxy kind of their propaganda, and they control what is
Mhm.
out there. So
you
who
take it off the star maps and people
literally
just eventually
knows?
forget.
What if this planet was an entire test society?
I could have been in that. Maybe why it was all cut off, like behind a boundary. Maybe it's an experiment.
We have literally no idea, but it has been there for thousands
They
of
could
years.
have like implants in all of them or something. Like
Are they still
you know?
testing? Have they been forgotten about also though? Like,
mm,
we have no idea.
I wouldn't think so because there's still so much security.
But that could have just been them evolving and them growing their society
Mhm.
and not having
That's
to.
true. It's like this is how we've always done it, so we have to keep doing it because this is safe.
And people, as time goes on, people get smarter. They find new ways to advance things, which could be why they're so advanced on things. Like, we have literally no idea. No idea.
And it's so controlled. I mean, like, all the way back to these tests that the kids were taking. They take these tests, and that puts them on their career path, and that's what they do for their entire life.
But
it doesn't change. They set you on a path, and you just go.
But they do that in other societies and other planets in Star Wars, like these villages. You bring them up to be a warrior or a healer. So it's not
That's
that
true.
different. This one is just it seems extreme to me because I
It
think it
does.
is in that like
It seems
suburban.
so regular.
Well, I
Like,
just think
have
it.
you ever read The Giver?
No. I think it just seems so much more extreme because this whole like planet suburbia feels like home to us. Like it looks
Yeah.
like our society where if you go to
But it's just a little off. It's
Yeah.
like, ooh,
But if-
there's too much extremism here. It's like that Uncanny Valley almost,
Mhm.
but with a society instead of people.
But if you look at planets like Ryloth or Tatooine or something like that, where as soon as you're a kid, you start farming. As soon as
Mhm.
you're a kid, you start training to be it doesn't seem like a big deal because there are these smaller pockets
And it's
that
like,
they're more rural.
yeah, it feels more like,
and not
of
as
course you grow up to do what your family does.
Yeah.
You know.
and
Here it's like, you could end up doing anything, but it's very controlled. Like,
And maybe that's because they have limited resources because they live in this bubble that they have to allocate it to like
make sure that certain
And
people are always doing certain things.
also
for their
make sure they have
society to
somebody
function.
in every single role that kind of to keep everything moving forward. So I don't know.
I don't know. We have to wait a whole week now for.
I don't
more
think we're
answers.
gonna really find anything out anytime soon. I think
Yeah.
it might be more when they get back, and I think they're gonna on this adventure learn about things that they're gonna bring home and realize that maybe at Atten is different than they thought.
Yeah.
We'll
also find out whatever secret it is because I think it's a secret.
Do you want fun facts or food for thought? Let's do food for thought.
Okay.
Okay, so the captain in the beginning. I didn't think about this one until Phil, shout out to Phil, made a comment in our Discord. So the captain in the beginning, I don't know why, I thought that he was unalived by his crew, but he just said there was mutiny.
Mhm.
Do you think that the Jedi in the cell at the end of season 2 is possibly the pirate captain?
Pirate?
Because they never say he's a Jedi. He just says keep a secret. He could just be a Force user.
Right.
Because of his age, for all we
People
know.
are just assuming because he threw the blanket over his head and it looks like a robe, and
Well,
he used the
and
Force
Force-
that he must be Jedi.
They get the key, but this age
But he
that
might not be.
he looks at, he looks like he may have been a kid during the like possibly Order 66. He may have never trained, and he lived through a time where Jedi
Maybe
were
we're
shunned.
being hunted, and
So he could not be
so
a
he's
Jedi.
in hiding. You know?
He could have used his Force powers to be a pirate to get treasure and all this other stuff.
Maybe that.
Maybe he was the pirate from the first opening scene.
I'm sure we'll find out who he is in the next episode because it seems like, I mean, that's where we're going next. And it doesn't seem like this is going to be a show to bounce around between perspectives. I think we'll stay focused on the kids.
No. But, yeah, so possibly, I think he might be the captain.
Okay.
All right, are you ready for my High Republic tie-in?
Yes, let's go.
We're going there.
We knew it was coming.
Yeah. Okay, so remember when the woman talked about, I can't remember her name. She talked about taking the assessment for the great work.
Mm-hmm. They mentioned the great work a lot.
So, the great work, these were so good.
I know.
There's like 2 more left. Which one do you want? I think they're both sour. Okay. So, I was looking up the great work because I wanted to know more information about these tests and stuff. And obviously, Skeleton Crew just dropped yesterday, so there's not really any information.
Right.
But I did find out that the great work was also referenced in another time period of the High Republic by the Supreme Chancellor Linda Soule. She worked on the Great Works project that was to bring all the planets together and create this unity, and she wanted peace among everybody.
Okay.
And so, which makes you wonder.
So this is somehow.
So is that maybe one of the last
tied
time,
to that in some way, right? Like,
or maybe that was the last time they had any kind of contact with the outer worlds? Was during the High Republic?
Oh my God, that is so long ago.
So, like, this is like 230 years before A New Hope. So this would put it about 275 years to like this time. Like,
I kept thinking, it feels very like, I know, like the path of the open hand and the path of the mountain, something something like that. Anyway, I know that they are very rural and tribal, but some of the things from this society feel like ideals from their societies, from like the path society.
see, I don't think so because they don't really talk about Jedi that much or revere the Force.
Yeah.
I just think they've been in seclusion. Because what if that was the last time they had do they even know what's been going on? Do they know that the High Republic fell?
Probably not.
Do they know that the Empire took over and Vader was out there? Do they know now it's the New Republic? Like, they just seem so, like, sheltered.
They also had, like, the kids were playing with little, like, Jedi figures and stuff. So, like,
So
they know
obviously,
some.
and that's what I'm saying. I
But
don't
who
think they
knows?
know what went on. It could have been them just thinking about Jedi from, like, the Old Republic or the High
Could
Republic.
be.
And not
And that would
anything.
go back to, like, if the High Republic was there last, then would have had a lot of contact with Jedi, because that was when the Jedi were very prevalent around the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Their presence was known everywhere.
And so it just, that's food
So
for
maybe-
thought. Like, has it been a few hundred years since they've had contact with outer space?
I absolutely think it's been a very long time since they've had, because they're just not allowed to. Nobody's allowed in or out. So I think,
Yeah, I don't know.
but
Yeah.
I think somebody's like puppeteering it.
I don't think it was the woman that was in there though.
You know?
I think it's somebody else. Because she was just like the title that she had. It wasn't like
Mhm.
top. Because, and also between the comment that she made to
It would also
her,
be really soon to see the like big bad.
but I don't even think it's just a big bad.
I
Like,
think somebody's controlling.
I think they're controlling it, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as we think it.
You know?
I don't think so. I think it might be like a subplot, and then they're going to have their eyes opened up and be like, "Oh wow, there's more out there." Like,
Okay. There's people and
and it just
ideas
could have
and
been one of those
experiences,
things where that's just been the way for so long that they
and
just
nobody knows.
nobody knows why they're in this barrier anymore. Because that happens sometimes.
It's just, we've always done this, and the people that used to know, maybe they're all gone.
Yeah.
Maybe they all died.
I think it's more maybe something like that.
Okay.
But I don't think that the mom is in charge because of a comment she made to her daughter saying there's only room for so many people like up top and higher up. And so I think she's just one of those people that are higher up. But-
She wants her kid up there
Yeah.
too. Okay.
And so based off of that comment.
It would be really helpful if the mom would end up not being terrible and maybe help them.
Do you want some fun facts?
I do.
Okay, so
You
first
got
one.
anything about Neil? I want to know about Neil. Neil is just
No,
the
there's
sweetest
not
little
really
baby
like
angel.
not really much information. We don't know his species. We don't know where they originate from. It is a whole new one for Skeleton Crew made up. So
cute.
Neil and his family are all brand new. But this one kind of ties into Neil.
Okay.
So the hollow that Neil's twin brothers and little baby brother is watching, if it looked all grainy and old, it was the same hollow that was shown in the holiday special to Lumpy, Chewie's kid.
What a
keep him
callback.
entertained.
Did you find it somewhere?
I was
Did
just
you?
like,
That's
caught, yeah.
really cool.
Like,
Okay.
that was like a deep cut into Star Wars, and there's an even deeper cut in this.
Okay,
show,
let's have
too.
it. Let's have it.
Okay, so
I just thought it was a weird show they were watching. I didn't put it
No.
together.
nope. Okay, so you know the ferryman that picks up that goes to take the kids to the port
Yeah.
from the ship. That is a
That was a
teak.
really cool little fairy.
The guy driving it, the teak, Teek, who transported the kids is. This is a deep cut, and I love this one. So, it is not his first. That species. This is not his first appearance in Star Wars.
No?
No. It is a nod to the Ewok spin-off movies.
never seen any of those. Okay.
Oh.
What is it? Really? Maybe we should watch them. Okay.
Dude, these movies, that's also the first time we see a witch in Star Wars too, is in the Ewok movies.
I just looked her up for our Phasma episode.
Yeah. First time we see a witch in Star Wars was in that.
What
But
is
it's
this called? I'm looking it up.
Teek. So the first time.
Oh yes, I lost my freaking mind when he came on
Yeah,
screen. I
'cause
don't
you're
know what he is.
But yeah. But yeah,
What is he from?
he was actually in the Ewok movie. Go ahead
oh my
and open
gosh.
up this page.
Okay.
And the first appearance.
On Wikipedia.
No, not Legends. I don't want Legends. No, it's just probably still. The Battle for Endor, the movie.
The Ring, the Witch,
and
and the
the-
Crystal, and Ewok Adventure.
Yeah.
Star Tours. He's in Star Tours too.
Yeah, he's I think in one of the like little seats. But yeah,
Lost my mind.
Ewok.
We'll put a picture of him up here.
Ewok movie. Talk about.
We need to do some
Eh.
episodes on those Ewok spin-offs.
We can do that after Skeleton Crew.
That'd be really fun.
And
I like
then one more fun
Yeah.
fact.
Okay.
Fuzzball, the character from Michael Jackson's Captain EO attraction at Disneyland, makes his appearance in the Skeleton Crew. It is the creature. No, the little flying creature that was in a cage is like pink fuzzy.
Yes, I know. I saw it. He got
The pink wolf, and he got freed.
Yep, there were two of them. They
Yeah.
both got freed at the
And
end.
the orange and pink, I think,
Yep.
and they got freed. And so that was two
Oh,
things they made.
That was also a really deep cut.
Two things at Disneyland, like
Yeah.
on screen. We had Rex,
Very cool.
and then we had Fuzzball.
And both of those are kind of things that like you would have needed to go to Disney in like the 80s and 90s to see them like they were, because neither of them are in those places anymore.
Yeah, they are.
Like Rex is in the
Oh,
cantina
he's
now.
in the cantina now, but he was just taken out, I think, and when they opened up that too, they switched it, I think.
Oh, was
to
he in there
3PO.
up until then? Okay.
Or maybe.
Yeah,
Up
the
in-
last time I was there, we went to the cantina and we saw Rex in the cantina and 3PO
So,
in Star Tours.
I think they changed it to 3PO flying when Disney took over
Okay.
Star Wars. Possibly.
Rex got moved.
But they had him in the Rex character was still in the line where they're like, hey,
Yes.
you, over there.
Like talking, interacting. Rex is so cool. And then Captain EO isn't there anymore.
that hasn't been there for a very, very
So
long
that's
time.
when like you would have had to have been there
In the 90s.
in a very specific time frame, or you would have probably never seen those creatures before.
So that means Michael Jackson could be in Star Wars.
Could be.
Canon. Which is pretty cool. I also felt like when they were in the brig. No, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the brig.
The ship jail?
Yeah.
Yeah, break.
It felt very Pirates of the Caribbean-esque from the ride.
Oh, when it comes
When they're out there.
walking, I was like, oh, it's Davy Jones.
Well, I was thinking of it like they're trying to send the rat to get the key because that was like a big scene in the Pirates ride where
That
they're trying to get
was
the key.
Hilarious.
They're like, I can train it. And I'm like, and he's like, okay, jump down, walk over, climb up, get the key. I'm like, that's not training it.
You almost did the thing. The rat did everything except for get the key and
And
come
it
back.
was just like,
And you were just like, is this really about to happen? No, it's not about to happen. I got excited and almost
yeah,
fell over.
I thought it was great. There's also so many more like Easter eggs in there. We had Smee, which is a nod to Disney.
Mhm. Yep,
What else
yep,
was
yep.
there? This pirate thing. There's a few more. I didn't write them all down. I thought these ones were the most fun.
Ah, so cool. I want to watch it again, and then I want to watch some Easter egg videos.
I think Phil and Michael in Discord said some things. Let's take a look at that real quick. Oh, also, here's another thing. So you remember the tattooing scene where the droid was tattooing the guy?
The droid
So-
was also covered in tattoos.
Yeah, he was covered in tattoo, but he also had the Hutt's like symbol on him. So that means that the Hutts are still around.
Oh.
Which makes sense because remember the Hutts, the twins gave Mando the Rancor.
Yeah, that's right.
Not Mando,
And
Boba Fett the
They were
Rancor.
consistently fighting with each other, but they were like in charge. The two of them were like.
And they brought Boba Fett the Rancor. But yeah. Oh, so the pirate's name in the beginning of the show is called Gunther.
Gunther?
Yes.
Oh. I only know Gunther from Ready Player One. It's probably a different. Oh, is it? From
Well,
that?
that's
is
what.
It a nod to that?
Well, we don't know, but that's what Phil thought of was Ready Player One.
So Michael says, "I love that they brought back the Shistavanen, the werewolf from the original Cantina crowd."
Yep.
Okay.
That's what
I saw him. I don't know if I've ever noticed him in the Cantina, but I lost my mind when I found out there was a werewolf in Star Wars. Werewolves are so much fun.
I'm still telling you, I'm holding out. My biggest hope for this show is a Hondo.
Yeah, it was totally Jude Law, and well, I think the guy in the cell was Jude Law, and Denise just has me on board now that he's the pirate captain. So yeah, I think the pirate captain's totally Jude Law.
I think so too.
I really like Jude Law.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what happens. I want to see how they're going to get out of this port. I think that's what we're going to see in this next episode is their escape from the port and taking Jude Law, Zod, Z-O-D, to the ship.
Phil mentioned, now I really want to dig up the Explorers. I haven't seen that since I was a kid. I've never heard of the Explorers. I'm curious about what it is.
I just realized that that's a Neil flag.
Oh, that's
you guys,
so
Neil
cute.
is the greatest.
Neil, yeah.
I will protect that child like he is mine.
We will riot if they do anything. I love how, like, Denise and I, in one of our little friend group chats, as soon as the show was over, we all just, like, dove in there and just started talking about Neil. Like, nobody mentioned anything. Nobody asked, have you seen it? It's just, listen, he is precious. I will protect him. We will watch the world burn to save him.
Child that must be protected at all costs.
Save
you know
Neil.
what? I'm really hoping. Here's something else I'm hoping next episode. I want KB to fix me. We cannot.
I know.
I think she could do it.
That cannot be the end of Smee.
I
can't.
Loves me so much.
Cool.
Like, yeah, I'm so excited. I think next episode we're gonna see them get out. I think we're gonna see KB possibly fix me.
Yep. That wouldn't surprise me. She's so techy.
I think we're gonna get more banter.
Oh yeah, I think they are gonna bond together by the end of this and be really close friends.
And I think
it's gonna be like siblings where they're at each other's throats, but nobody else.
I think Zod is gonna get so tired of these children and have that grumpy old uncle vibe, like,
that wouldn't surprise me. Because they're probably, they're little kids.
Yeah,
the oldest one's probably 12, 13 max.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I can't wait to watch it next week.
I know, it's so good.
It's so
good.
Yeah. So let us know what your guys' thoughts are. We hope you enjoyed it as much as us.
We did.
Yeah. So, finding the fun in the
yeah.
From our galaxy to yours. Finding the fun in our galaxy to yours. I still messed it up.
Finding the fun from our galaxy to yours.
There we go.
May the force stay with you.
Oh, wait.
That is delightful.
Thank you for listening to Sisterhood of the Traveling Bantha, written and produced by Denise McKay.
Edited and produced by Rexy Jupiter. Original logo designed by Tyler Rigney.
Intro and outro music is provided by the Galactic Empire.
You can find us on all streaming platforms at Travel and Bantha.
And join our Discord for fun-filled galaxy chats.
You can also sign up for our Patreon starting at just $3. You get exclusive episodes, merch, behind the scenes, and more.
And a special thanks to all our Jedi Knight members and higher. We have Rooney, Michael Beavers, Mark Collier, and James Peak. From our galaxy to yours.
May the force be with you.
Always.